Well, hello, folks, and welcome to episode number 11 of the Good Morning Americana podcast. In this episode, our guests are the great Ward Hughey, music promoter in St. Augustine, all-around great music guy. His company is Bleeding Tree Entertainment, and just a great guy to talk music with, great music appreciator. And our good friend Tess, who now the name of her band is Bed Sweater. We learn about Bed Sweater. Tess plays a live song in the studio, a.k.a. Colton McKenna's bedroom. And the song is called Rotten Tooth. We love Tess, and she's great to talk about music and everything else. We cover all the bases with my buddy Micah Gilliam, my right-hand man. You can tune into the podcast anytime by going to goodmorningamericana.com. Just click on the part that says podcast, and there you are. All the episodes available for you, and also through iTunes, it's downloadable, and some of your other favorite podcast sites. Don't forget the Good Morning Americana show every Saturday morning from 9:30 to noon on WFCF 88.5 FM in St. Augustine, Florida. Heard all over the place on iHeartRadio. But without any further ado, let's get to it. Episode number 11 of the Good Morning Americana podcast. No, you just play jazz kazoo. Here we go.
1, 2, 3.
All right, I'm out of breath. Big finish. Oh, we love that. That was great. What do you mean you never... Oh, I just put it back in the box. That's terrible. That was not my home kazoo. It's JB right here. It's the Good Morning Americana podcast. Episode number 11. Unbelievable. And with me at my side is my right hand and my left hand man, the great Micah Gilliam. And he's still plugging. He's a plug and wire type of guy. But how about that for the kazoo choir? You didn't even have to play jazz, Tess. You just went right for it, like you knew that song.
Yeah. I've heard it once or twice before.
All right, good. There you go. Well, the Ava Brothers never used to do that song ever in concert, and now they do, and they throw kazoos at you. So there you go. So Tess, should I call you Teresa Rose or Tess?
Tess.
All right, good.
Yes.
Teresa
A new
Rose is your
phase.
performing name,
No
though, right?
longer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's actually new. Bed Sweater. Bed Sweater is the new.
I saw Bed
new name.
Sweater.
So
Can
rest
you
in peace, Teresa Rose.
Well, there you go. Our first episode 11 guest is Tess, who's the leader of Bed Sweater.
Yes.
Bed, B-E-D, and
Yes.
then sweater.
Like you sweat when you go to bed, or like you need to wear a sweater to go to bed.
You know, I saw that in
Creative license there, yeah.
Your choice.
Which one
for
is
sure.
it? Yeah.
So good, though. I saw that on the Knobfest thing. I
It
was
was a
like,
misprint that it was twice, but you know, it's cool.
that's so good. And she is a great local performer. And when I went to the Floridian, you were like part of my family. I think that's how good you are at your job.
Well, there's a great family photo that I just like photobombed
You did,
because I was
totally.
bringing soup to the table
Yeah.
in the Bernie family.
She could be a Bernie, you know. She's that much fun, I'll tell you that. And Ward Hughey is here from Bleeding Tree Entertainment and all other things, one of the best music guys around town. Ward, thank you for joining us on episode 11 of the Good Morning Americana podcast.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Right on. Now, we got a little bit of the Ward listens to the show. Tess doesn't get up that early. So, you know.
She's sweating in bed.
Yeah, but she knows. Ew.
So hot in here.
It's Florida. It's hot. Dude.
Yeah.
That's true. And Tess, you were just up in the Great White North, huh?
I sure was.
You got-
my homeland.
You got caught in double snowstorms?
Triple
Really?
snowstorm.
Trip.
Came up in a snowstorm, big snowstorm, many trees down while I was there, and left in a snowstorm. Many
Jeez.
snowmen were built, though. So
But you're a Jersey girl, and you had to
Yes.
go back just to go sleigh. Did you go sleigh riding at all?
no,
You didn't even go sleigh
but
riding.
I did make quite a few snowmen. Most notable was Mr. Spicy. Also, rest in peace, Mr. Spicy.
Oh.
He melted.
He melted.
Oh, Ward, you know the difference between snow men and snow women?
No, what is it?
Snowballs.
Oh,
There you go.
that's a good
Ba-dum-bum.
one.
We always stick a little joke in there. But is the part of Jersey you're from close to the city? It's close to the city, right? Or
It's
no?
yes. The closest city is Newark. I grew up in like a suburb outside of Newark.
So did you go to New York City when you were a kid too? Did you
When
hang
I
out?
was a kid, yeah, and I used to bartend in New York City once upon a time.
Did you really?
I'm gonna scooch this up to you.
Oh.
That New York
yeah.
City, that's a tough place to
Thanks.
live, man. There's
Well, I lived in
So
Jersey
much.
City and worked in New York City for a brief time.
Jersey City. You look right across at New York,
Yep.
then, right?
Yeah, nice view.
Very
The
good.
Holland Tunnel.
Not fun to drive through.
Yeah.
I'm a New Yorker too,
Yeah.
but you're wise. You like it here in Florida better, don't
Yeah,
you? I could just tell.
Winter. It's not my snow. Not into it.
No,
Yeah.
you don't even go to the sleigh riding. You know,
See,
it's like the one
summers-
good thing you could do. And then my nephew up in Maryland broke his leg sleigh riding last week. He's 40 years old.
Damn.
Yeah, so even that, the fun stuff can hurt you. But anyway, we're here to talk music with these guys. Tessa's going to play us a song too, so that's so cool. We're going to hear we've never had bed sweater on the podcast before, so that's going to be great. But anyway, we start off the podcast with public comment. Musical public comment, basically.
Bueller.
Public comments like at the beginning of meetings, and they have like important meetings. It's like anybody can get up there for 2 minutes and say anything they want. So what kind of music stuff? Well, we got a lot of local music stuff happening. Gosh, we just finished up with Knobfest, which covered everything. And Micah, you just got back from South by Southwest. You got to tell us about that.
I did. Yeah, it was fun. There's a lot of people.
A lot of
and
bands.
we didn't get bombed, so that was good.
Very good.
Yeah, right?
Did you play shows on the way back too? The young Mike, of course, in the band, the Young Step. Did you guys play other shows too?
Yeah,
Like
we played a couple in Denton, where North Texas is. That's a
Denton,
pretty tight
Texas, the
city.
home of Slobberbone. There you go.
Slobberbone. Okay.
Oh, one of my favorite bands. Come
Really?
on. Come on. Tell
That's
me you
the
never
one.
heard of Slobberbone
That's the
now.
one for this episode. There's always one I didn't know.
I've never.
I've heard
I
of.
heard that was I thought that was a joke. I just didn't understand.
No,
That's a great name.
People
Great
accuse
band
me
name.
of just playing them on the radio so I can say the word Slobberbone.
Yeah.
But it was two dudes in their backyard. The dog was chewing one of those rawhide bones, and that's totally how they got their band name. And the first time I saw them in concert, Brent Best said, "If we can ever get over this band name," like it was the one thing people remembered. But no, they're great.
Yeah,
Slobberbone.
Denton, Baton Rouge, and Fort Walton, which is like the Oakland of Destin.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
How is Baton Rouge?
It's a nice spot. It's Louisiana State University or
LSU.
LSU, yeah.
Yeah.
So I hoped I'd run into Shaquille O'Neal and didn't. So,
No, probably not.
Yeah.
They got flooded bad not too long ago. Baton Rouge got the killer floods,
Yeah.
but everything's purple and yellow. And tomorrow night, you got a big thing. I know we could save this for the end of the podcast, but the farmers market goes to
Yeah.
Tuesday nights in St. Augustine at the
Night
amphitheater.
market.
Yeah.
The night market.
Heck yeah.
Are you excited for that?
I
Makes
am,
a lot
yeah.
of sense, I'm always like, let's go to the farmer's market, and it's noon. So, you can just get Hugo's leftover muffins.
Right.
That's about
I'm on the
it.
radio, dude, so it doesn't work for me. Tuesday nights
exactly.
work out fine. I thought it was a great idea. But live music, was that how did you get picked for that?
I don't know. They might have drawn out of a hat. I don't know.
Is that right?
Murphy hit me up, and I said, that sounds rad.
Right on.
And I'm DJing for the first segment.
Oh, that's
So
really
a lot
good.
of Southern gospel deep cuts, is what I said.
Dude,
so.
I think a lot of people are excited for Tuesday Night Farmers Market. They do it in other cities and stuff like that, but that's so cool.
Cool. Yeah, I think it'll be great. It makes sense, there's like a whole big part of the population that just doesn't get up and do that stuff on
Not
Saturday
on
morning.
Saturdays, right?
Yeah.
Right. And you probably have a lot of people coming from out of town on Saturdays. Saturdays probably draws a lot of people. Tuesday night, it would be a way more local type thing. So cool. And I love that music's tied to this, of course. If there's anything happening with the amphitheater, it probably has Ryan Murphy sticking some killer music in it. But and we've all been beneficiaries of that, right? Ward, you've got to do after shows, right, for a lot of a lot of different stuff, right?
Yeah, it works out great. If there's a show going on in an amphitheater, you can always put on a band somewhere like a Sarbez or Nobby's or somewhere to do after, and the people want to keep listening, so they'll just come right on over, and it's a great time.
Yeah.
That's good. It creates more of
Listening, drinking,
a late night scene.
coking, and smoking,
Praying.
praying.
All right. Usually we cover obituaries too. Any big rock and rollers die in the last couple of weeks here? I don't know. There's been some famous people pass away. Stephen Hawking passed away.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We've had some
Yeah.
famous people. Not too many rock and rollers. Let's hope they've had a rough couple of years. 2016 was the worst. 2017 was pretty bad too. So let's hope it gets
Wonder
better.
what they'll do with his computer. Did it get buried with him, you think?
I don't know. They're doing a big thing in England. They're doing a big, like a whole day thing or something like that. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Even if you're the smartest guy in the world, you don't last forever.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right. Well, let's talk. I'm just thinking about the radio shows I've been doing lately here. I think I've been on. I haven't come back from the Dominican Republic yet. Everything got me thinking about that trip. It was the craziest trip. You know, I got to see My Morning Jacket play every song off every album they've ever done. So it was insane.
That's a lot of songs.
And Portugal the Man, the people they bring, the other bands are just
Like-
insane.
Like Portugal the Man.
Portugal the Man was there. You know who was there?
They're
Spoon.
getting real big
Yeah, they
now.
really are.
Huge, huge.
I liked them before that. Just saying.
Yeah.
You had them in your pocket before everyone knew.
Well, they headlined. They're that big. They are. They headlined the night that My Morning Jacket didn't headline. There's 4 nights of music. But I thought Spoon was great, too. I was really impressed with that. But I got a present here. I'm going to give it to you, Tess. This is one of the hats I got. Golden is a famous My Morning Jacket song. But I just thought this hat would look good on you. So there you go.
I'll wear it.
Golden.
right
I know
now.
you will. I know you will.
You look
You
good in
can't,
hats.
you can't see in a podcast, but I do look good.
Yeah.
For the record.
You really did.
I don't even need to look at myself.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm
To know.
never wearing that. I have one of those at home now, but now you look too good in it.
Golden.
I don't actually know this song.
You know My Morning Jacket?
I know. Yeah, I do know them. I don't.
It's one of the sweet tunes. It's one of the sweet
Sweet.
tunes. Well, there's a lot of people know My Morning Jacket and they really don't know the song names. I mean, it's one of those bands where people will react to a song and they have no idea what the name of it is. But it's like Ward Hughey reacting to a Frank Turner song. It's like when I play a Frank Turner song on the radio, I can almost always get a reaction out of them. You know?
Always.
Who else are some of your favorites that I play on the radio? I know you kind of. Is there anybody I turned you on to you can think of top of your head?
Well, actually, John Moreland. The first time I had ever heard John Moreland was you playing him on the radio.
Oh.
Yep.
You know who I owe that to? Verga. Verga came in. Old Andrew Verga is over in Gainesville now, but Verga
Oh,
came in. You know
Verga.
Verga, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Verga came to the radio show one time when John Moreland played the Go Into the Sun Fest, when John Moreland played Nobbies. And he had so much fun. Verga always talks about that day we got together, but he's the one who turned me on to him. And I remember they had the word piss in the song, and I was like, oh, I can't play piss.
Piss?
You know, it's like, but
What about if you change it to urine? Would that be fine?
not for John Moreland. It wouldn't.
Yeah.
Well, it's like Jason Isbell said about Goddamn Lonely Love. I talked to him and he goes, I had to write it that way. I go, yeah, I know. It just makes it tougher to play, you know. But but no, John Moreland, look at him since then, though. That's funny you say when I brought him to you because since then we've had him here for Sing Out Loud 2 times, right?
Well-
Or no, Sing Out Loud, and then he came back and did the free one.
We got-
On the front porch stage, which ended up being in the amphitheater, the one we just had.
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
What a show.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I have not seen him. What's he like?
He's 500 pounds.
I mean, I know
if
that.
He's a pound. And,
500 pounds of
this
pure
time
emotion.
he brought a whole band, and his weather looked rough, and he rocked it. And they did a rocking band set, and then he's just standing up there like a mountain, and then they did acoustic stuff because that's what he's known for is that acoustic stuff. He's doing Stephen Colbert the same year he was at Nobby's, I always say. But then he came back out with the band. But the funniest thing I'll never forget about that night, I just thought about this the other day, was Andrew Seward coming out, and he looked at the crowd, and after the first band, he said, hey, this is a rock show, so there's going to be people standing up in front of you. So if you want to move up higher in the seats, you know, he's basically saying, don't be, you know, if somebody's in your way, this is about
Yep.
to become a rock
Wait,
show.
where was the show at?
It was at the amphitheater.
Front
It was-
porch?
no, it's supposed to be the front porch, and it's a good thing it wasn't because there was too many people there.
There really was.
But they, for the weather reasons, they moved it inside, so it was kind of smaller.
Still do backyard shows now that they have the front porch.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's one coming
Backyards
up.
Front porch
like-
is cool.
Yeah,
Almost
front
maybe
porch would be
cooler.
like a, yeah. Front porch is like maybe a couple hundred people. Backyard's probably like 500.